NHL veteran is considering a run for mayor of Whitchurch Stouffville. A Toronto man is facing sex crimes charges after being arrested in Newmarket, and charges have been laid against a Peel police officer during a ride check. Partly cloudy, -1 from Pearson to Newmarket. This update is brought to you by Frank Cotolo on 148.ca. Frank freezes on the climate change issue. More at 148.ca/Frank. I'm Philip Hong from SR National News. Now here's Ray, Mike, and Rod with North American Harness Update on SRN1.
The starter has called the field to the gate.
Don't you ever get tired of saying that?
This field is in motion and approaching the start.
Guess you don't.
And they're off. And it's a battle into the first turn for control. The battle continues by the half and approaching the far turn. Stride for stride past the three-quarter pole and approaching the top of the stretch. And as they hit the top of the stretch, it's mission brief. Foiled again, Muscle Hill, Captain Treacherous, and Vegas Vacation. Lucky Jim, a rock and roll dance, be a magician. Sebastian K approaches the line. Guccio is coming late, and as they hit the wire, it's too close to call.
Now here's North American Harness Update on SRN1.
Yes, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, back to the studio, back to the grind, back to the kick flips, nose manuals, and any other kind of skateboarding, linguistical, punnery, wordplay that I could use to kill time, because I have nothing else to say in this introduction. We're back here on North American Harness Update. We were on the road last week. We're back off the road, but quite frankly, I'm not really sure on the road describes us, because we're off the beaten path, and that's kind of our MO. And when we don't shower, that's also our BO. But that's for a whole nother discussion. This discussion is going to be quite horsey centric. Yes, guys, Mike Prebosi and Rod Alm Jr. are joining me now. I said horsey centric. Now, guys, I also wanted to say too, just as a bit of a advisory to you. I don't know if you heard about the herpes quarantine that's happening at the Meadows. They announced that on Monday. And since we were there in such close proximity to that, I'm just warning you guys. You might want to get tested, just to make sure you're clean.
Are you sure you didn't cause that?
I'm a clean boy. I'm a pure Christian, pure white boy of purity who is not unpure. Am I getting my point across here? I think I got my point across beautifully. Like in pure poeticism, I got it out. And I do mean pure, because that was like most of the words I said in that sentence. Tonight on the show, it's gonna be, as I said, horsey centric. We have a lot of horses to talk about. Horses such as brown horses and gray horses. Some may say roan, but we say they're wrong. Already off on a good foot. That foot, of course, is the right foot, because if you say it's the left foot, that's not the right foot. That's just math. We have London, not England, Ontario. We have the Raceway at Western Fair. They're pick 4. They're advertising us right now on the TV. Oh my God, it's us on the TV. I can't believe it. Because I'm the one horse, Mike's the other horse, and Rod's the other horse. If you got that's why I used that picture. If you guys didn't know, do you guys like that symbolism? Do you like my designing? Am I good?
No.
Oh. Well, this is gonna be the show without Ray. Take it away, guys. I'm sad now. I'm done.
Oh.
Hey, we're good. We got this.
Okay, but while you guys are doing it, just to leave my mark, I'm gonna cry very quietly while you guys talk.
Well, look at the London feed right now. You can see it has look how Rod's bouncing up the pecking order.
Did you like that? You didn't like that. No one liked that. I'm sorry. No one liked that. London's the one thing we're going to talk about. We got, of course, Woodbine 2. We're going to be covering the late pick 4 from Woodbine. What race are they on right now, Mike?
They just finished race 5, so they have 6, 7, and then they start the pick 4 in race 8, I believe.
Oh, we still got plenty of time then for Woodbine. Not a lot of time for London, and that's going to take up most of the first hour. The second hour of our show then will focus on the Hawthorne Racecourse pick 4, as well as the rest of the pick 4 sequence from London and Woodbine, because inevitably they will not be completed within the first hour. Now, boys, I'm asking you to open up your past performances so we can roll right along into this sequence. Now, there's
Derek Gibbons wants to know if you're 10 feet tall or in the smallest room ever.
Am I 10 feet tall?
Yes.
Who's asking? Who's asking?
Growth hormone.
Who's asking? Because that'll depend. That'll influence my answer.
I said Derek Givner's asking.
Oh, Derek. Oh, then of course I'm 10 feet tall. Doesn't he remember the story of David and Goliath? Who does he think played Goliath? Not Daniel Day-Lewis. Not the guy from The Blind Side that Sandra Bullock mentored. No, it was me. That guy.
Sure.
That guy was really big.
That
That guy was gigantic.
Let's do some Western Fair here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really want to bring up The Blind Side. I did not like that movie at all, and I think it's really overrated. The Western Fair pick 4 is a time-honored tradition because it happens each and every race night.
This is our tradition.
I am dodging your questions about The Blind Side, so I am in essence blindsiding you. This pick 4 starts with race number 8. We got 6 horses lining up here. Now, Rod, I saw your ticket. I looked at your ticket and I went, why? Why in a 6-horse field where there's clear contenders do you just take all of them?
It's actually a 5-horse field now. There's a scratch.
There's a scratch! Who scratched?
The 5.
Oh, the 5? Okay, that doesn't affect me or Mike or I. But go on.
I'm using all because, for the most part, I don't trust any horse in this race. There's a lot of breakers in here. There's a lot of bad horses, and I think a horse could break and still win the race. For that sole reason, it's a non-winners of 1 or 6,000 lifetime, and to me, it's just a really bad group. And anything can happen in a race like this. It's a field of 5. You got a couple in here that do stay flat, but they're just really slow and look like they'll get beat by anything. I mean, you look at the 4, who's a morning line favorite, 0 for 29.
Why are you dancing?
I'm trying to summon the spirits that'll help us win. Keep going. I'm listening.
Yeah, don't.
I'm listening.
And there's a couple in here that have gotten bet in the past, especially a 6. A 6 took some money 2 of the last 3 weeks and got beat. I mean, last week had a perfect setup and, stopped. So nothing for me to like at all in this race. So I just took all 5 of them.
Well, Rod, I'm here to say you're wrong, because Mike and I both believe there's some stuff to like in this race and some stuff really to not like. Mike, I'm going to let you start off, though, with what you like, because you kind of like the stuff I like, but then you kind of also like some other stuff that I don't necessarily like. You following?
Too deep. Using the 3 and the 4, I would imagine Rooney had a choice between the 3 and the 6, and he chose the 3. And the 3 is second off the layoff, had a 7-hole last time, flipped out to the front, and then got tired. Is 0 for 22, but, that was a decent race last time off the layoff. And then the races prior to that aren't horrible compared to some of the others in here. So I felt like this one was a must-use. And then the 5, Striking Nicky. This horse got second last time here at a similar level, is 0 for 39, but again, it's a 5-horse field, and none of them really stand out. The 1 is hard to have because of breaks. The 2 comes off a judge's scratch and hasn't been out and has been beaten tons. I'm 3-4. I feel like I have to get out of the race with one of those 2.
I agree with you on the 3, as I remember to tweet out the fact that we're live on the radio. But as I look at these past performances, I agree with the 3. I don't necessarily agree with the 4, and that reason is for the reason that, I thought this horse would be overbet, especially considering just all of the looking at his odds in his last starts. This horse is not taking any action. He seems like a chaser, but I agree in the sense that this is kind of a crap field, and anything could really win this race. But still, I am 2-3 in here, taking the 2.
Long shot.
I'm taking the 2 Unfinished Business primarily for post reasons. I think this horse could be a much bigger factor from the inside. He's had 2 8-holes at Flamborough, and that took him out of the mix. And then his race at London, he showed something. He was moving out, albeit he didn't gain any ground, but he still made a move. And that means so much in these really awful fields where you'd rather a horse be on the move and go backwards than just sitting at the rail and chasing. So I'm seeing possibly some improvement in the 2 Unfinished Business, as well as a possible upset with him. I'm 2-3. That's all I gotta say. I gotta tell people we're on the air, guys. So this second leg is race number 9, and Rod, you are the slimmest of all of us, and I don't mean weight-wise, because let's be honest, I'm a thick boy, but you are too deep. I hate this already. Talk about your horses.
Yes, I'm too deep in. This is Western Fair we're talking about right now. I'm 1-2 here. The 1 had a good race, started second tier, got claimed in that race, and moves from one good barn to another good barn. So the claim doesn't bother me. This year draws the rail, should be right on the front end, and then the 2. I think he's going to get a 2-hole trip here, and that's why I'm using him. This horse is capable and has shown ability. His only problem has been where he's been on the racetrack, and he's just been given no chance a lot of times. And last week, this horse was really good and was in a terrible spot, had no chance to win the race. And that field that he was in with was actually a really good field. And he did get beat by the 6 in that race. But, like I said, this horse had no chance from where he was at. So you kind of got to toss that race and just look at the horse's ability. And I think if he will trip, he's going to be really tough in here. 1-2.
Mike, you're more on my side in that we're both fairly deep here. We're both 4 deep.
4 deep. Using rods 1 and 2, the one off the claim. Previous lines, if you go back, they're decent, especially from outside post. Gets the rail here. I would imagine an early blast. This horse has a lot of speed. I agree with the 2. Really no chance last 3 races. The horse never seems to get a drive, and that's kind of an issue. So you never know. I feel like Bryce will be right there. The 5 Falcon Justice last time was an impossible spot. Really, had no chance from where it was. Prior to that, raced well at this level, and I feel like could end up second over in here. And then the 6 Comeback Mad, who is very obvious, has won 2 in a row, but albeit getting perfect trips in the process, moves outside here, gets Carol back. Have to use, but others can win it. 1, 2, 5, and 6.
My cover. My little cushion boy for my microphone fell off, but no worries. I am an improviser. I can work with it. And I just put it back on. I'm 4 deep here. I take the 1. What's a Magoo? By What's a Magoo, I mean I opened up Woodbine by accident. By opening up Woodbine by accident, I'm talking about Stature Sealster. Don't doubt me, guys. I know what I'm talking about. Stature Sealster's a fairly obvious one coming in off a claim. This horse is always gunning towards the front. He's had bad posts. Now he gets a good post. He's so obvious. He's gonna be 1-9. The 3 Fight Your Obsessions, the second horse I use, makes his first or second start rather off a bit of a layoff. Prior to his most recent outing, he had raced on December 26th in the Alliance Series and raced fairly decently there, just in the final, didn't really get much luck, was aggressive early on, but quit towards the latter end of the mile. So I feel like he needed that last start, could definitely improve second out, and now has a spot on the gate, so should be a decent price with a decent chance. 5 Falcon Justice is another one I use. 2 starts back, showed speed as the favorite. Now, I don't know if he showed speed because he was the favorite or that he was just, in fact, so live that he was the favorite for that reason. Either way, this horse can push off the gate, can put himself towards the front, and he can finish up decently against this level. And just tossing that race last out, too, from the second tier was taken into a spot where he just does not race well from, and as so long as he can get off of the gate fairly quickly, he could be a factor at a decent price. And comeback Matt's pretty obvious. He won 2 straight. He's going to be forwardly placed again. And the question is going to be whether or not he can make it 3 straight. I'm 1, 3, 5, and 6. Moving into the next leg, which is race number 10. Oh, that one is a $8,500 claimer. Rod, why are you singling Callie Magoo?
Because I like the horse. Why else would I single the horse?
That's a good point, but talk about why you like him.
Singling the 4 in leg 3. That's Callie Magoo. 3 really good efforts. 2 starts back, missed a couple weeks, and still raced pretty well. Just got beat by a better horse that day. Way off. And then last week, just crushed the field, went to the front, and basically bottomed the whole field out. And I think this is another race where that's probably going to happen. He just gets away from him at the 3/4 pole, and you're not going to be able to catch him. Usually horses coming off races like that are going to come right back and do the same type of effort. So I see no reason not to single this horse and take a shot. Especially against a field like this. The only other one in here is the 6th, and I'm not a big fan of the 6th. Missed a couple weeks and just had an okay effort. Last time this horse raced was 2 weeks ago. Raced on the same night as the 4-horse 2 starts back, and got a perfect setup and ended up winning the race. He beat the 4 there, but that was one of those things. If the 4 goes back to what he did last week and just bottoms the field out, then I think it's over.
Oh, is that the end of your sentence? Should make it a little more.
Yeah.
Should make it a little more clear next time, Mike.
That was the longest discussion for like 2 trucks in the history of Earth.
Well, Mike, I was just about to say, tell us why Rod's wrong and why you should go deeper.
Well, my problem with the 4 is, he seems a little every other. I mean, he never puts 2 back to back. He wins and then he's 3rd, and then he wins and he's scratched, and so now off that blowout win where everything went his way, now he has to face the horse that just beat him by 5 the last time they faced each other. Now, albeit there's a post switch and things like that, but I feel like that this horse doesn't have to win the race, especially since the horse never really does put 2 races together. So I'm going to go 4 deep, use the 2 victories. Peanut, who draws well, had missed several weeks, was completely against it December 31st. Really, wasn't winning that race against Wesky, who, was basically primed to win the final race. A couple judges' scratches after that. Could have been transportation related. Then last time, raced okay to be 3rd against these types. Draws well here. This horse is dangerous. Has 35 lifetime wins. I like Stewart. He always has a horse in the right spot, so he could get a trip. The 4 you have to use is obvious. The 5, Burst Hanover, 3rd time back. Raced okay last time, was 2nd in that Callie Magoo blowout race. This horse is a little bit of a closer. Could get a setup, especially if the 6 decides to go after the 4 early. So I'm going to use those 4. 2, 4, 5, 6.
Well, as I'm tweeting out the pick 4 graphics, because now race 7 is when official and race 8's coming up in approximately 10 minutes, I start off this leg with the 2 victories. Peanut, who's the first of 2 horses I take. You can probably guess who the other one was if you paid any attention to Rod's magnum opus on why you should take a 6-5 shot. For me, I take victories Peanut for most of the reasons Mike does. Second start off the layoff. This horse is usually chasing, fits this level fairly well, could get a decent trip, and could also improve just by having that start under his belt. That said, I am 2-4. Did you really think I didn't take Callie Magoo? What are you guys, stupid? No, this is time for Ray Catolo mocks the audience. Stop me now. I'm gonna stop myself. This final leg of the pick 4. It's race number 11. Filly and Mare, 15,000 condition claimer, purse of $5,900. Scratched down to a field of 8 because the 6 Joy's Gunzer, a Blazing Sealster, whatever that horse's name is. It's a Nick Boyd horse. She scratched.
Joy's Blazing Sevens.
I was close, Rod. Just let me be close and sound right. But Rod, since you're feeling so adventurous and wanting to call me out on everything, you talk about this race. Yeah.
I'm 5 deep here. I was originally 5 deep. I had the 6, and he got scratched, so I just switched the 6 for the 3 here.
Oh, that'd been good to know.
So I'll start with the One Shadows. Been racing up close every week. 3 starts back race really well first over. 2 move the week before that, or the week after that, I should say. Inside. Similar type of trips every week for this horse, and it has a shot with the rail. The 2, DD Black, raced really good in that qualifier. I thought that was a pretty decent qualifier. Track was off just a touch. That was when that storm first started rolling in there. But prior to that, this horse was racing really good. Probably a little bit better. Doucette was in earlier. And then Maddie's Credit, nice horse. This horse, if the trip works out, I think this horse can hit the ticket and possibly win if he's in a good spot where he's not going to get backed into or blocked. The 3 I threw on after the scratch, makes sense. Going to be a short price. I didn't originally use this horse just because the price is going to be really short. And then 5 is my next use. I Love Pink. This horse just dominated last week. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about it. This horse was winning and was just dominant. So I think you got to use another short price there. Journeys starts in a second tier race, first over last week. This horse, I do think, needs to be in a spot where she's going to be like second over in order to win this race, because if she gets away like 4th and ends up first over, there's no chance for this horse to win. So it's a tough spot, but I think can definitely benefit if she finds some cover to go along on the outside with. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 9.
Well, I said earlier on, it would have been nice to know that Rod took the 3, because then I could have added it to his graphic, although he would have complained that they would have been a little bit later than he was actually expecting. But Rod, that's fine. It's all fine. Everything's fine. Mike, you are mostly in agreement with Rod, except you don't take the 9.
No 9, and I believe the 6 is out. So I'm 4 deep. Using the inside 3, the One Shadows has been second 3 in a row. Had favorable posts the last 2, but prior to that race from the 8 hole was legit. The horse is knocking on the door. It's hard to leave this one out. Like Rod said, the 2, decent qualifier, second Lasix, backlines to go to. I would hate not to have if the horse is ready. That 55 back at Woodbine, came home in 28. That's a decent race. That would win this race. The 3 First Kiss, this horse went up to the higher level last time and it was okay outside to be 3rd. Prior to that one at this level, definite use. And I like Kelly as a driver there. I think that he does very well. And he always has his horse in the right spot. So I'm definitely interested in that one. And then the 5, I Love Pink. Crushed a race last time, got to the front from the rail. Usually needs a setup. He's a bit every other also. She's a bit every other also, but hard to not use this one, especially how sharp she is. So 1, 2, 3, and then 5.
I'm looking at our video stream, and the one thing I'm thinking is don't tell Dave Siegel about this. I'm 2 deep in this last leg of the pick 4, starting starting with the 1 Shadows. Why am I talking like that? Shadows has been racing decently at this level. 2 starts back, actually had the rail and came close to winning, but then he didn't because he finished second, and last I checked, second's not a win. However, it's incredibly close. And then he finished second again next out. This horse is just ultra consistent at this level and at one point should have a shot at winning. She's in good form now. I don't see why she shouldn't be used. And not only that, I don't really like much in this race. There's not a lot of form, and the consistency in shadows definitely stands out. I really liked Joy's Blazing Sevens, but then she scratched. That leaves me only with I Love Pink as my other horse. Who's the obvious one? She's going to go off the favorite. She won here as the favorite last out on January 19th. Not really much to say about her because her form just speaks for itself. And for me to talk any longer about her would be the equivalent of writing a William Faulkner novel about Secretariat. So I'm going to just end off my discussion with 1-5, which makes my ticket go as follows. For 20 cents, I am 2-3 with 1-3-5-6 with 2-4 with 1-5. And then the tickets are on Twitter and Facebook. That's $6.40 for 20 cents. Mikey Mike, what do you got?
3-4 with 1-2-5-6 with 2-4-5-6 with 1-2-3-5.
That's $25.60 for 20 cents if you didn't add any horses.
$25.60, sorry.
Yes. And then Rod, your ticket.
All with 1-2 with 4 with 1, 2, 3, 5, 9. It's $10 for 20 cents.
Wait. Oh, yeah, because the 5 scratched in the first leg. You're right. Your math's right. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to start an argument, Rod.
The Western Fair 4 that we just discussed.
They're just coming onto the track, if you can see, for race 8 in London.
I'm surprised that Master Saver's the 9-5 favorite. Who's making that happen? I'm saying that like I'm the one that put all the money on this horse. I wouldn't bet this horse. Well, now the 6 is the favorite.
I wouldn't bet any of these.
I wouldn't either.
Okay, we got to move on to Woodbine. I've got some graphics up. If you're watching on Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, or YouTube Live, I've got graphics up for our Pick 4 plays right now for Western Fair and Woodbine for tonight.
Well, Woodbine, there's still 15 minutes to race 7 at Woodbine. We could start talking about it, though. That's fine with me. I'm trying to be approachable. I'm trying to be a good boss. I'm trying to be a human being. But it's hard.
Okay, well, I'm giving everybody the Pick 4 tickets right now. Our Pick 4 tickets are up right now.
The Pick 4, yeah, the Woodbine Pick 4s are up on the stream. They'll go up on Twitter and Facebook in like 10 minutes. We can start talking about it now while they're parading. We can at least get the first leg of the sequence in because Mike and I were at least talking about this very briefly. We both agreed this is a tough sequence. Yet I still managed to get a $7 ticket in, and that was mostly because a horse I used in the second leg scratched. And Rod, your ticket got really adjusted unless you added horses because of the scratches. You had 3 scratches in your original ticket. I don't know if you changed it. I'm going by what you gave me. So, heck off. I'm starting with the first leg, as you all should too, because you can't bet a Pick 4 with the wrong leg. If you do, it's not Pick 4. That's all I have to say about that. The race 8, though, it's the second prelim of the Snowshoe Series. I don't know if it's the second division, but it's a division. And this is basically a collection of all the horses in the Snowshoe that went, I don't really want to race, but I'll do it anyway. I don't know what they're asking. I don't know what they want from me. What am I supposed to do? That's me translating what the horses are saying. Mike, however,
That seems very whiny.
I view most things in this world to be just whiny in general.
Is that right?
Yeah. Mike, you're 3 deep. Why? Why are you 3 deep here?
I don't know. I gotta pull my program up. It has disappeared from my feed. I'll go on Who Picks and look, and I have the 7, who was huge first off the layoff last time. Should be the favorite in here. The 3 has had difficult trips and got picked off last time. I feel like that the inside post will help. And then the 5, Topville Chrome, is a closer in a race that could set up for him. Gets a driver switch. I think it could be one of those 3. So 3, 5, 7 to start.
Rod, you are 4 deep here, just adding the 1. Why the 1? What's with the 1?
What do you mean, what's with the 1?
Why? I don't like the 1, so why are you using the 1? Tell me why you're right and I'm wrong, Rod. That was like the worst Brooklyn I could have possibly done.
Why not use the 1?
Why not? Because
yeah, he's going to be chalk. I said, why? Yeah, the 1, he is going to be bet, but should be able to trip out from this spot. He doesn't leave much, but he can leave enough. And force start back off the little 5-week layoff there. I think this horse is going to be and she'll be coming into form for Ben Wallace here. These mini series, I guess you call them, or late closers, they need to get points to be able to make the final. So with these races, these guys are looking to get a trip and score some points to get into the final, because you don't know what's going to win. And if something, crazy happens where you get a different winner every week, then, you got to have enough points to be able to get into the final, because those winners are automatically in the final. So I think this horse could trip out here, but I'm also using 3, 5, and 7. The 3, pretty obvious, I think. Last week got used hard going to the front. No reason not to use this one. The 5, Top Bill Chrome. I'm using this one just because I think he's going to be a little bit closer. Last week was just way far out of it. Closed up nicely, and that was a pretty good last half on a track that was, last halves were really slow pretty much all night. So I use him. And then the 7 with the Dragon, second start off the qualifier. I think he's a must-use and pretty obvious, if you ask me. He's another one that had a really good last half last week. So 1, 3, 5, 7.
You see, like I don't see the 5 or the 7. I definitely see the 3. But Gillies Boy in this race just seems like the lone speed, and to me, I can possibly see him wiring the field. If not, there's one horse I threw on that I'm surprised none of you even gave any kind of reconciliation's not even remotely the close word. However, I'm going to pretend it is in this situation. Star Clipper. No one talked about this horse. This is the only other horse I use. I thought that his first start back since not racing since December, not terrible. This horse moved first over, then he quit, but he still moved. He made a move. Now makes his second start in the series. Should improve off of that, and in the event that Gillies Boy is not able to wire the field, this horse's racing style just appears to put him in the correct spot to possibly win, just whether or not he's up to it second time out. That's mostly it. There's not a lot of form in this race either, at least in my eyes, so it was really hard to see anything outside of Gillies Boy, but for improvement purposes, Star Clipper seems like an interesting contender, so I'm 3-4 there. And it looks like they're getting ready to go soon at Western Fair. They're kind of rolling around, letting the pick 4 pool grow a bit more. Is Master Saver 6-5? Why? What do they know that we don't? What do they know that we don't?
Maybe they know he's going to stay flat this time, but I don't know.
I'd like to
you
know.
really want that horse from the rail?
No. Not at 6-5.
Sugar Doyle gave us a little last call warning on our Facebook feed to get your pick 4 bets in.
Oh, wow, how he's on top of it. I can't multitask like that.
He's the best. He is. Great guy.
Last time I tried to
There we go.
Okay, fine. I won't give you my analogy. Fine. Feel
Good.
5 going postward here. Hope I won't mess up this call as much as I did as the 5th race at the Meadows. That's for sure. Woo! I'm currently
running. I'm shocked.
I'm swinging my mic stand around as this field is swinging into the stretch. For the first leg of this pick 4, they're approaching the start, and they are off. Made to Lead, and Blink She's Gone. It's Blink She's Gone taking the front at that first turn. Made to Lead, going for the pocket. Third then, circling around the turn. Striking Nike, followed by Unfinished Business, and it's a long way back to the favorite, and early breaker Master Saver on down the backstretch. Blink She's Gone in front by 3.5 from Made to Lead second, third, then Striking Nike fourth. Unfinished business as they go on to that opening quarter. On an uncontested lead, Blink, She's Gone. Passing that opening panel clear of Striking Nike second, third, then Striking Nike Made to Lead second. Unfinished business fourth. Master Saver still well out of it. Out of third.
Only 4 of them, right?
Making a move. Striking Nike. Shut up. This is not a participatory event. As they turn to the stretch first time. Blink, She's Gone. Still well in front of Made to Lead. Leads by at least 3.5. Outside, Striking Nike up to take second. Tracking that move slightly. Unfinished business. Half in, half out. Circling the clubhouse turn. Half in 1 minute flat. As they move into the back stretch, Blink, She's Gone, still uncontested here. Now only in front by 2.25. Second, Made to Lead. Outside, stalled, Striking Nike. Unfinished business locked in behind them. Master Saver still out of contention, going to 3/4. Blink, She's Gone. Still in front under a smooth handle. Extending her lead a touch to 2 3/4. Now 3 again around the final bend. 3 wide out of fourth. Unfinished business circling around them. To the inside, Made to Lead, dropping back in between them. Striking Nike, but well clear into the stretch. Blink, She's Gone. Holds a 3-length lead. Unfinished business down the center of the track up to take second. Third, then Striking Nike coming to the line. Blink, She's Gone, called upon. She's going to hold on by at least a length from Unfinished Business, then Striking Nike Made to Lead. And there's the favorite, Master Saver, checking in last. 6-1 to start off that pick 4. Not too shabby.
I don't understand.
Why that horse was the favorite? No.
Oh, I don't understand. But that's good for us.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I don't know why that horse was a huge favorite like that either. That was crazy betting.
I don't. That's a huge price.
Yeah, we should have caught that. We should have really caught that. How about that, too?
Hey,
Also, 7-1.
I'll take the good
The
start.
2 raced very well. The 2 was misdriven. Probably should have won, but that's a whole other thing.
I wouldn't say misdriven. He was just sitting, and there was only 4 of them, so he was sitting there, and unfortunately, the horse that pulled first over just went nowhere, and he was kind of stuck.
Hindsight's 20/20. He might have moved just a hair earlier when he realized that the 6 and the 4 weren't going anywhere. But I get it. He raced well, definitely.
We all move
Yeah,
on.
that's more alive.
And Rod, I still stand by the
Tough
fact.
not to be alive, Rod, when you take them all.
No, I was gonna say.
Hey, it all fall down. No contest.
I was gonna stand. I'm
Oh my God.
I'm standing by the
don't know what they're doing.
fact of why did Rod take the all button. That was like the last race you'd really want to, especially with those horses.
I don't know. Sugar took the all button. If you look at his ticket, it's a tough race. You can't rely on anything.
I disagree. This race seemed like the 2 and the 3. Those were the only horses I saw.
Okay, well that's great for you, but he was the one betting the ticket. So you have to figure what he thinks and what he deems how he needs to get through the race. So it might have been. It was easy for me. I had the 3 and the 4. That's what I saw.
Mike, what you don't understand is that I am always right. Second leg of Woodbine. On to that. Whoo! Can't beat my logic there. No, you can't. Woo-hoo! I'm always winning, except when I lose.
This show's about to go off the rails.
I said off the road. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I say at the beginning? Play back the tape. Play it back. We don't have the tape. The second leg of the pick 4 at Woodbine is the 9th race. That follows the 8th race, which is the second prelim of the Snowshoe Series. This is an hours of 3,000 in the last 5 starts. This race is a total crapshoot because all of these horses are I'm going to pull out my Webster's. If I pull out my Webster's and I open up to the letter G for garbage, yes, it says here the 9th race at Woodbine. Now, it seems a little on the nose. It's almost too on the nose because I totally made it up. However, the metaphor still stands. This is a very tough race because these horses are pretty much equal with one another. I was originally 4 deep, but with the scratch of Chestnut Schofield, I'm first off sad that I won't get to call a horse named Chestnut Schofield, but also I just don't know about this race. I feel like I have a good idea. I'm 3 deep here, but Mike, you're leaning more towards the wide open angle. You take all of them.
I did like the 1 as my top pick, and that horse is Scratch. So another reason, I had no great opinion. It's bottoms. None of these horses really have any form. There's really not a lot that you can hold on to in the race. So, the 3's interesting. This horse has, shown speed in the past. Was in a prime spot, 2 back, and then broke against better. Then last time had the pocket and really had nothing. Tough to rely on. The 4 is dropping, has been bet 3 in a row and has burned it up every time. The 6 I find interesting because this horse is a closer in a race that could go a little bit crazy early, and this horse pops once in a while. 1 for 35 last year, but has 8 lifetime wins, usually from the back. Using all, no great opinion. Hope for some chaos.
Rod, you're a man of very convincingness. I believe you can convince me you have a great opinion here because you're 2 deep. Better make it good in this wide open race. Woo!
I'm 2 deep. No, I'm 3 deep.
Oh, did you switch out a horse? You don't tell me these things, Rod. I told you early on. I don't know these things.
No, I didn't switch anything out. You just can't read.
Rod, the 1 is scratched. The 1 is scratched.
Only 2 deep here. So I am 4 and 9.
What did I say? Play back the tape. You talk about this race.
The 1. I was using 149. I'm 4-9 now since the 1 scratched. The 4. I like this horse. I think he's got ability, but he's just kind of one of those horses that sometimes he's not good at all. But he's very fast. That's the thing with him, and he's going to get bet here. Probably going to be the favorite. Just a tough horse not to have it if you're playing any type of exotic bet. He stays flat and pair Henriksen with a trotter. So, tough not to use this one. Then the 9, Wog jumps back on second start, or third start for Moreau. That was a good race last time. Just got away way too far back, got dead. Closed up to be 5th. I thought raced really well. Nice back half there, 55 and 3. This is one that he needs some fractions up front, I think. And if he gets those fractions up front, then she's got a big chance to win at a decent price. I'd probably say this thing's gonna go off 5-1.
This
So
thing.
just 4 and 9 for me.
This thing. Are you objectifying horses, Rodney? I am so disappointed
Quiet.
in you,
Rodney.
Rodney. Mike, you already talked about this. Oh, it's my turn then. I'm 3 deep.
Yeah.
I was
Your
I was 4 deep, but again, I'm not even sure if I can talk about this race because I am so mourning the loss of Chestnut Schofield from this race. There aren't names better than that. That's a great name for a horse. And now he's gone. He didn't die. He's just gone from this race. But I
Fantastic analysis.
I agree with Mighty Nicky.
Conversation on Facebook with some guys
I
on
agree.
our feed. Scotty Nance, Bobby Smolin, they're talking to us on Facebook right now.
I agree with Mighty Nicky and the 9 horses, the Moreau horse whose name I can't remember. And I don't really feel like scrolling down to the PPs, but Rod, you explained it pretty well. I remember that horse had some braking issues, had a decent race last hour. He ducked back, could probably be more aggressive here. The 1 horse I throw on for a bit of a price is the 5, Amityville Lindy, though. Makes his second start off a layoff. This horse, prior to had not raced since September, had a start in a Racing Under Saddle event where he was the favorite and broke. And the start after that was at Mohawk, and this horse just seemed done. He just seemed done for the season. Fast forward a decent qualifier at Flamborough where he parks the mile, then a judge's scratch at the end of December. His first start then is January 12th on a snowy night, if I'm not mistaken. That was a snow night, was it not? Come on, confirm this for me, boys. Snow. That's right. It was a snow night. This horse put in a decent mile then relative to what they were doing, albeit they came home in 32 seconds, probably because the headwind was higher than the hurricanes that blazed down the Oklahoma plains. I think that's how the musical goes. Oh, Oklahoma, where the hurricane winds blaze down. It doesn't fit. But the 5 Amityville Lindy should definitely improve off that start. That's not a bad race. My one concern, though, is I'm not really sure how much late trot this horse might actually have, but still, he's going to be a good price. He's going to be a price worth using for the potential that he holds to improve, and that's why, ladies and gentlemen, I stand firm 4'5'9". That's right, I'm 45 feet, 9 inches tall. I dare any of you to topple me. I dare you. Dare you! You're not gonna do it. No one can do it. No one can topple me. No one can topple the champion! The third leg of this Big Four.
Next leg.
It's the race number 10. Non-winners of 2. Oh, the camera's this way. Non-winners of 2 or other conditions. Now, this race is interesting because it's so clearly written for one horse and so, like, subtly written for, like, 2 others, I think. Mike, starting with you. Actually, Mike and Rod, you two have the exact same horses.
Yeah, 4 deep.
Fight.
Starting with the 2, Checkmark, who drops the straight hours of 4 after racing at upper levels at Flamborough. This is a drop for this one, and he's going to be the likely favorite. Probably should win if races similar to that race last time. Came home 27-4. So I'm interested. Definitely will not be 42-1 again. Much easier spot. The 3, Play with Passion. Terrible post last time and raced okay to be 5th. Loses Jameson, but Big Shoot, Badham Jackie. Those are sharp horses that are racing in the series now. So this horse has faced better the last couple. He's a must-use in here, I think, also. The 6, Beach Goddess. This is a little bit of a wild card. She's very fast. She's capable of huge moves, but she can be known to break and be rough gated a lot of races. So if she's on her game, definitely fits. If not, you won't see her anywhere. And then the 8, Magnificent, comes over for London for Nixon. McClure burned a little money there, but ran into Turbo Diva, who's been very hot and over there. This horse has a little bit of fight to it, and is sharp enough. Has been first or second the last 6 times out. I don't have any problem with that whatsoever. So 2, 3, 6, and 8.
Rod, have anything else to add to that? If you do, I swear to God, I will kill you.
Yes, I'm adding the 9 here.
The 9 is scratched, Rodney.
Good luck with that.
No. I haven't been paying attention because I'm busy setting up this broadcast. So, no, I don't do this race.
Feel free to do the show, Rod. Anytime you want, Rod.
Hey, I set this beast up, okay? You are welcome. I don't really have anything else to add. Honestly, I mean, Mike covered it. This race is pretty much those 4 horses. I don't see anything else that could possibly win here. You have anything else, Ray?
Yes.
Which I highly doubt you have anything else.
I do.
If you do,
Nerd.
He'll find
You're
one that
wasting
looks like crap and waste money on it.
No, because you're.
yeah, he's wasting money if he plays anything else besides those 4 horses.
You guys are wrong because you smell and you look bad. The 2 and the 3 are obvious. Okay, I agree with you guys there. From there, the 6, Beach Goddess. First off, no. This horse needs a start. That's it. The 8, Magnificent. No. Does not fit this class. I don't think she does. Those races at London are good, but I don't think they're good enough to help her win here. There's one other horse I throw on, and I know I'm holding up 3 fingers right now, but bear with me. I only mean one of them. Why am I getting so angry tonight? This is the Ray's Angry Show. This is a weird feeling to come out. But I should not. That's gonna be clipped now. The 4 is the other horse I use. Diamond's Dance. Primarily Because, A, this is a horse that also had the race written for her. She's won 3 races in 16 starts. Not only that, makes her second start off a really decent mile here at Woodbine from the 8 hole. Closed ground, come home 28 and change, finished 5th. That was her first start in about two or 3 months. And that's some good miles over Flamborough Tour. This horse is gunning off the gate. This horse has speed. Now, the second time out, albeit not a non-winners of 1, moving up to a non-winners of 2, as long as this horse can show that speed that she had at Flamborough, she could be a decent factor here and will also be a really big price because she's moving up in class. And people are going to not necessarily take in consideration her miles at Flamborough, where she was bet to be the favorite. She belonged in those levels, and she raced somewhat well. So I'm 2-3-4 with the possibility of Diamond's Dance pulling off an upset. And we are 0 minutes away from...
Okay.
Okay. Well...
By the way, we do have to thank Western Fair for allowing us to use their feed on our broadcast.
Not only that, we...
Because we do that unless you pay them.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We also have to thank Western Fair for giving us a generous donation of $85 million, and I'm not saying this just so that they feel obliged to give us $85 million.
We're not saying
that if we had $85 million, we wouldn't be doing this show.
I'm pretty sure we'd have our own TV channel on cable TV. That's what we'd be doing.
Oh, that's a great investment. A cable TV channel.
How about the two at 13-1 here? I feel like that this could be an upsetter.
I think you're
I
wrong.
don't know why the 2 is 13-1. 13-1's huge on this horse.
Wait, which one is that? Stir and Serve? No, this horse sucks.
Okay.
This horse, I've always seen this horse as a chaser, never a leader. You guys know what I mean.
Shout out to Sugar Doyle watching right now. Sugar Doyle, the announcer at Western Fair, is watching us on Facebook right now, by the way.
Oh, no, don't say it. Now I'm self-conscious about how I look. Are my glasses crooked? How does my beard look?
We're not even looking at you. We've got the Western Fair feed pulled up.
Yeah,
Okay.
checking out the Western Fair feed.
Oh, that makes me feel so much better about this
We
situation.
got the spot here at 12-1 also.
Am I
Another
bloated?
likely upsetter.
The 5 at 12-1? Yeah!
This
Yeah! 12 to 1.
At 14-1, it's hard not to like the 2 here. I mean, those odds are really nice.
Not
That's
when the-
lucrative.
Not when the 5's 12-1. When the 5's 12-1, the 2 could be 86-1 for all I care.
I feel like it's driver related a little bit.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
this horse was bet to be the favorite
Yeah.
a couple starts back, though, if you remember. And that race, he should have
This
totally
is a different
won.
bunch, though. It's hard to know what that race looked like compared to these.
Mike,
You got some sharp horses in here.
Mike, you saw that race. That was the race where Plain Easy was the also eligible. He drew on the rail and he wired the field on that day where nobody was winning if they weren't on the front.
Well, I can't see the program currently, Ray, because I'm looking at the Western Fair feed on my screen. But thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for helping me out. Thank you for taking care of your brother here. I appreciate that.
This will be my last show. I will be going into forced resignation. But this race will be going off soon. Then after this
As
race,
they go to the gate.
after this race, we have one more leg to talk about. At Woodbine. And then, wait, how many minutes are we at till Woodbine?
Well, they just finished the 7th. I think we're going to have some time. We'll have plenty of time to finish.
Okay.
I'm going to look now.
Fantastic! It's time for me to call
We
this
have
race.
9 minutes on the clock, probably closer to 13 or 14 in reality.
It's time for me to call this race. I've never called one before. Well, actually, no, I have called them before. I want to sound at least somewhat esteemed.
You called 7/8 of a race.
What? Are you insulting me?
That's a Pocono.
Are you insulting me this early in the show? This field is in motion. It's approaching the start. Often pacing, comeback Matt, classic news from the far outside, along with Stature Sealster and Fight Your Obsession. And those four spread across the track around the first turn, with Stature Sealster claiming the lead. Wide then taking second, comeback Matt as they move into the backstretch, ducking into fourth, Fight Your Obsession right behind Stir and Serve, who takes second. Ducking into fifth then as they move on down the backstretch, classic news in front of Casimir Opie, followed by Casimir Megastar, and towards the back of the pack, Falcon Justice, opening quarter bound. Odds on choice, Stature Sealster in front by 2 1/4. 3 lengths now, is extending his lead around that turn over Stir and Serve. Comeback Matt's in third, about 2 lengths off him as they come into the stretch first time. Another gap back to Fight Your Obsession fourth, in front of Classic News fifth. Off the rail comes Casimir Opie. Behind them, Casimir Megastar and Falcon Justice. Half-mile bound, Stature Sealster in front now by 4.5. From Stir and Serve chasing second. Off the rail third, slightly comeback Matt, yet to commit to the outside on his back. Fight Your Obsession around the turn. Here comes comeback Matt off the rail. Then behind them comes Classic News fifth into the back stretch. Casimir Opie begins to drop back. Wide of him, moving Casimir Megastar, and up the inside, Falcon Justice onto 3/4. Stature Sealster being reeled in. Here's comeback Matt to the outside. Off the rail, here's Fight Your Obsession now into contention, while comeback Matt is the new leader. Taking pursuit, he is now moved 2 lengths in front, 3 lengths in front of Stature Sealster falters second. Now third is Fight Your Obsession towards the center of the track. Moves up into the second spot. In between them, Stir and Serve, then locked in behind them, Classic News, with Falcon Justice off the rail. Casimir Opie to the inside into the stretch, though. Comeback Matt leads by 4 from Stir and Serve as they come onto the line. Comeback Matt romps Stir and Serve second, Fight Your Obsession third, in a time you were just not meant to know. That was a strange race.
Nice exacta there.
Yeah, that's brutal. I boxed 128 there.
Oof, that is brutal.
So with that said, let's quickly talk about this last leg of the pick for Woodbine before we go to break. And then once we go to break, we're going to come back only on the radio. So you can tune in on that, 148.ca/1. But video will be done. Oh, is that what I look like? Jesus Christ. This final leg of the pick four is race number. I'm in total control of what I look like. Filly and Mare hours of 3,000 in the last 5 starts. Field of horses going postward here. And starting with you, Rod. You're the deepest of all of us. I personally did not like this race at all. I think there's no form whatsoever. Yet you managed to scrape out 3 contenders.
Yeah, I went 3 deep. Well, I was 4 deep before a scratch again.
That's what I was saying, yeah.
Okay, Rod.
Yeah. You blaming the
No,
horse?
you had them. They just stayed in.
Every horse that I really like seems to be scratched. So I go 2, 3, 9 here. Those are the ones that I have left. The 2, Walk 2 Moons, really been good, but gets a huge class drop. Last time this horse was in with these was, I don't know how long ago. Draws the inside, should be leaving, should sit up close, and has a shot if the trip works out. The form is off, but, this is a really big class relief, so I expect this mare to wake up tonight. The 3, Dancing Shadows K, she is an occasional breaker, but she's really fast. And, I think in this race, she either wins or so you got to be cautious with that. That one's a 50-50 there. And then the 9, Bernadette, we all know this one. She's tons better than this group. She just has not been very good. They gave her some time back to normal. At least that's what they're hoping. If she wins this race by a 16th of a mile probably. But I'm not going to take the chance that she's not back to her old self. So that's why I'm going 3 deep. 2, 3, and 9.
Mike, you're in somewhat consensus, but you don't like Bernadette.
Well, it's not that I don't like her. It's just kind of shades for cost purposes, and I'm going to use the 2 and the 3. Same reasons as Rod. Both have huge class edges over this field. Both are closers, though, and that's sort of an issue. They could end up at the mercy of the pace and the trip. Not a lot of speed in here, so perhaps they'll leave and maybe get position, and class will tell. I think it's got to be one of those two, just with these lines, and it's just too big a drop to leave them off. 2-3.
Well, you just mentioned something that's particularly why I only take one of them. I despise Walk 2 Moons. This horse reads, I'm going to be played so hard for my class, I'm going to finish like 4th because I'm not going to be close enough. Dancing Shadows K is going to be at least stalking, and she has enough of a class edge and enough of a racing style that could put her into contention. But for speed purposes, I look towards the 7 Stellenbosch, who makes her 3rd start off a month layoff. 2 starts back, kind of dragged herself along at Flamborough Downs, ended up finishing 4th, and last out, albeit from an inside post, tried to wire the field, only came a head shy of doing so at this level, coming in 29 flat, at odds of 4-1, is not going to take any play just because of the driver change and the driver choice here since McNair is on the 9 Bernadette, but that only plays in our favor. This mare has speed. As long as she gets put into play, she could very well be the lone speed, assuming, of course, Pretty Hot does not move, and Bernadette needs a start. Again, those are some variables, but Stellenbosch is going to be the best price of the potential speed here, which is why I'm 3-7. Makes my ticket go as follows. For 20 cents, 3-4 with 4-5, now with 2-3-4, 3-7. These are going on Twitter and Facebook right now. That's $7.20 for 20 cents. Mike, your ticket.
3-5-7 with all, with 2-3-6-8 with 2-3. It's $48.
Rod.
Mine is 1-3-5-7 with 4-9 with 2-3-6-8 with 2-3-9. It's 19-20 and it's played.
All right. So with that said, how many minutes supposed do we have till Woodbine, Mike?
Currently, I think 3.
3? Okay, perfect. We're going to get ready to go to break. Our Pick 4 graphics will be up on Twitter and Facebook momentarily. When we come back here on North American Harness Update, we'll have more from London. We'll have more. We're all live at London, except Rod. We'll have more from London, more from Woodbine, and of course, we'll have Hawthorne, as well as anything else I could possibly muster up in the little cranium that I possess in this God-blessed life that we all get to live. Stay tuned for more wonderful action here on North American Harness Update. Is that what this show is? I didn't know that.
Oh, I just love the kind of woman who can walk over a man. I mean, like a goddamn marching band. She says, like, literally, music is the air she breathes, and the malaprops make me wanna f***ing scream. I wonder if she even knows what that word means. Well, it's literally not that. Of the few main things I hate about her, one's her petty vogue ideas. Someone's been told too many times they're beyond their years. By every half-wit of distinction she keeps around. And now every insufferable convo features her patiently explaining the cosmos, of which she is in the middle. Oh my God, I swear this never happened. Lately so unconvincing when I fumble with your buttons. She blames her excess on my influence, but gladly hoovers on my drugs. I found her naked with her best friend in the tub. We sang Silent Night in 3 parts, which was fun, till she said that she sounds just like Sarah Vaughan. I hate that soulful affectation white girls put on. Why don't you move to the Delta? I obliged later on when you begged me to choke you.
Philip Hong of Woodbridge. An NHL veteran is considering a run for mayor of Whitchurch-Stouffville. Keith Acton, who played and coached for a number of professional hockey teams, has announced he has formed a committee that will look into a possible 2018 run for office in town. Acton is the owner of a Boston Pizza franchise in Stouffville. A Toronto man is facing sex crimes charges after being arrested in Newmarket. Police from Simcoe County, along with York Regional Police officers, arrested Moses Gregory, accusing him of being part of a sex trade business. Gregory is also wanted by Toronto police involving charges related to domestic assault and will appear in Barrie next month. Charges have been laid against a Peel police officer during a ride check. Detective Sergeant Brian Collins, who works at 11 Division, is facing drunk driving charges after being stopped in Burlington. Collins, who lives in Hamilton, has been suspended from Peel Regional Police with pay. The weather, partly cloudy, -1 from Pearson to Newmarket. I'll have more news over the weekend. For now, I'm Philip Hong.
Thank you, Phil, and welcome back to more of The Detour. I am Jason Jones, joined by Natalie Zaya and whoever else is on that show. It's a great show on TBS. I'd fully recommend it. But where we last left off, where we at with Woodbine Boys? Where are they?
There you go.
They're going?
Soon.
Uh-oh, better get that up. Okay, we still have
Pay
time.
attention. What are you doing?
What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm getting the feed up so I can call it.
He was dancing mostly during that break.
It's because how can you not dance when Father John Misty's playing? That's how I threw out my back. Fun fact.
Wait, you can dance to that music?
He was.
Well, some of it.
Nobody can actually dance to that.
What do you mean nobody? Show me the studies. Show me the evidence. Show me the empirical data.
Were you doing like? You must have been doing like the goth sway back and forth.
Yeah, that is mostly what he does, actually. They're getting ready to go for the 8th. By the way, Father John Misty, pure comedy. I highly recommend that album. That album is beautiful. We got 8 horses here lining up. Whether they're beautiful or not, can't really tell. But they're going nonetheless. This is the second leg of the Snowshoe Series in motion. And approaching the start, and it's off. And pacing Carolina Magic leaves well. Shaggin' with the Dragon. Fastest away, though. And Shaggin' with the Dragon's going to take the front. Splitting horses, Topville Chrome up for second. Star Clipper then gets away third in front of Gilly's Boy back fourth. Fifth, then Carolina Magic to the turn, having beaten Free Proof, the penultimate, and Creepin' in the rear. Around the turn they go to the opening quarter. Shaggin' with the Dragon in front by a length and a quarter.
Sounds about right for you.
Second is Topville Chrome. Third, then Star Clipper. Opening panel 27-1 off the rail. Out of the pocket. Brushing to the lead. Circling to the top. Topville Chrome as they move on to the backstretch into 3/8. Topville Chrome, the new leader, on his back. Here comes Star Clipper, anxious to move. Now drawing alongside leader and drawing up to take the lead. Then on his back, Gillies Boy up to third. Shuffled to fourth. Shaggin' with the Dragon. In the flow, fifth. Carolina Magic. Sixth then towards the back. Free Proof followed by Creepin', second to last. And moving up the inside, Monty's Play. Half up, 56-4. 29-3 that second quarter. Moving into the far turn. Gillies Boy clearing the lead from Star Clipper, now second. Outside Carolina Magic left uncovered in the flow, now drawing up to second and towards the leader's wheel to 3/4. On his back, then Free Proof up to fourth. Shuffle to fifth. Topville Chrome, then Shagging with the Dragon back sixth. Seventh coming to 3/4. Creeping then up towards the back, moving towards the center. Monty's Play 3/4, 124-4. Gillies Boy the one to catch. Gillies Boy kicks away by 4 from Star Clipper. Then down the center, Monty's Play trying to take third from Topville Chrome. As they come on down to the line, it's Gillies Boy well in hand, leads by 3.5. Star Clipper second. Gillies Boy going to take it by a length and a quarter. Star Clipper second, then Monty Play and Topville Chrome. 153. What did I say? What did I say about that race? 3-4. Those were the 2 horses.
Oh, here we go again.
Wait, what happened? Why were? I don't like when you guys are texting behind my back. It makes me feel.
It's not behind your back. You have full view of it.
Yeah, but it's distracting when I'm calling a race. It makes me feel insecure. Oh, creeping in. Oh, you guys were laughing at my purposeful wordplay.
It was funny.
It's called being clever and in the moment. Thank you.
Western Fair, 0 minutes to post.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Now we gotta go there? Oh, God, there's so much racing. I'm not used to this. Let's see. 3-5 on Spicy Victor.
Those of you that are still listening on SRN1 right now, that we're watching on Facebook, Twitter, Periscope, or YouTube, we are over 200 viewers for the live broadcast in the first hour. So thank you.
Wow. That's great. That really is great.
I agree. It's great to have people watch us, but more importantly, me, but also you guys. But again, me.
Well, you are the star. I mean,
Well, I mean, clearly by just how much I care about my complexion. I cared so much to shave for this event. However,
God.
huh?
Cal and Goose 2-1 here. You got to be loving that.
Not when Spicy
Nice
Victor's
break.
4-5. Look,
The 2 7-1 getting action.
7-1, I wouldn't really call it action. Horses take
What
a.
do you mean?
I mean, action would be like 2-1. 7-1's just like, hey, this is a horse.
Well,
That's exactly.
I feel like that horse is being bet into these two. I mean, the 4 and the 6 look very obvious in the race.
Mm-hmm.
The 2's 8-1 morning line, and I didn't think would be quite the slow. Personally, I figured double digits.
I agree somewhat.
My opinion.
I'm.
What do I know?
It's a good question. If you know how much Mike knows, please call into this number, 632. I shouldn't give out someone's real number. That would be a bad idea. That would be bad PR. What does PR stand for?
Live and a lot of pick 4s here tonight.
All right.
Live and some pick 4s.
Sugar Doyle giving us some love on Twitter right now.
Check that out. Check it out right now.
$270 is live going into the third leg.
I should have played my ticket. It was only $6.
Look, Sugar, give me some. See that?
Well, you know what you say. Give me some sugar. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm done for the night. I'm checking out after that one. Whoo! Too good for this world.
You're fired up all night like you won the Super Bowl or something.
Look, can I be passionate about what I do? Am I
No.
allowed to have some source of joy from being able to
The
talk?
spot just went from 12 to 1 to 5 to
anything.
1 at London. One
Hey,
click.
I want to bring this up real quick because we just got a request on Facebook to post and link our video onto the Harness Racing UK website.
Wow.
They have horses there?
Yeah, the best ones.
Well,
Not the harness ones.
getting ready to go out London. I'm sure Rob will work on that this week, and we'll get that done.
I'm busy training for the Olympics. They're lining up for this next race. I haven't gotten to the segment I've been wanting to do all night on this show yet, but we'll get to it soon. 3-2 on the 4, Callie Magoo. It's no Chestnut Schofield, but I mean Callie Magoo's somewhat close. It's not Chestnut Schofield. I miss that horse. 9-5 on the 6, Spicy Victor. At 5-1, the 5, Burst Hanover, scratched down to a field of 7. This field swings into the stretch, and they're approaching the start. And now away they go. Callie Magoo, quick away outside Spicy Victor to take second. Coca Joe third into the turn. Victory's Peanut in fourth. And back fifth, hooray for the winner. Wide then to the backstretch. Burst Hanover wide of AB's Earl to the opening quarter. It's Callie Magoo. Back in front, back in control by 2. From Coca Joe second, then Spicy Victor third. Fourth comes Victory's Peanut down the back straight. Hooray for the winner in fifth, then in front of AB's Earl sixth. Then Burst Hanover in the back as they move on to the far turn first time. Callie Magoo in front, unchallenged so far as they move on to circuit number 2. Coca Joe in the pocket. Favored Spicy Victor in third, beginning to tip off the rail into the stretch first time. Behind him, Victory's Peanut fourth. Fifth, then still comes Hooray for the winner. Then AB's Earl. Burst Hanover, half mile bound. Got a catch. Callie Magoo, 1 lap to go, in front by 2. Coca Joe second, third still. Spicy Victor circling the bend. Victory's Peanut is fourth, and Hooray for the winner fifth. No one moving overland to the backstretch, leaving Callie Magoo unchallenged on the lead. Spicy Victor, though, now off the rail, beginning his pursuit out of third, up towards second. Still has 3.5 lengths to make up on the leader. Behind them, Victory's Peanut fourth off the rail. Hooray for the winner tracks him to the inside. AB's Earl. Burst Hanover still trails. The 2 favorites gonna tango around the final turn. Callie Magoo only in front by a length and a quarter. Spicy Victor's drawing closer as they turn into the stretch. Callie Magoo in front. Spicy Victor off the rail, coming at him, lunging late, turning for home. 1/8 of a mile to go. It's Callie Magoo outside Spicy Victor. These 2 stride for stride coming into the 16th pole. Advantage now Spicy Victor. A nose in front, a neck in front, and he's extending to the line. Here's Spicy Victor winning over Callie Magoo. Then hooray for the winner and Victory's Peanut. How exciting to get knocked out of a pick 4 by the 4-5 favorite.
I was going to ask if you were still alive, but I should have known better.
Why would I take a 4-5 favorite, Mike? I'm trying to make some money here.
Okay. Well, it's amazing how well you can make money if you actually cash tickets. If you lose, you make nothing.
Yeah, but you know what's worse? Hitting a ticket and losing money.
No, that's not worse.
It's kind of not good. It's kind of just a little.
Not worse.
I feel more beaten, if that's the case.
You shouldn't.
Well, this is the therapy hour with Mike Prebosi, telling us how to feel and how to live.
Left. We have 2 more pick 4. What are we doing left? We have what? Just Hawthorne's
Just
late pick 4
Hawthorne
for tomorrow.
Just Hawthorne's late pick 4
Okay.
to go. However,
Right.
I never got to address this because last week where are they at Woodbine? They're 7 minutes to post.
They just finished, so they're still. I don't know, the feed's frozen. I don't know what's going on there. They had a long inquiry.
Last week, during our live show, I debuted that this is the season of intellectuality, and I have also I'm going. You guys can tell I'm going for like the weathered artist look. I'm going for the beaten soul, the man who has given up I feel like I'm pulling it off very well in my North American Harness Update merch, which you can get at NahooPicks.com. But that's just a sly plug. And I
No one can really see it anymore, but that's another story.
I was just gonna say that you know, I was wondering if anyone would call me out for not shaving. I'm surprised no one has. But then again, the only people that usually do are adolescents and people who are just jealous of facial hair in general and just are trying to level the playing field. So you got to give it to them for trying to organically thin out the bunch of us hairy folk. Rod, you and I agree. We're brothers in this case. You and I. All right. Please tell me I'm right.
My beard is a lot more distinct than yours. I got news for you.
I don't know if I were to shave right now, which I'm not going to do unless we were live on.
Shave for another 3 months. What are you talking about?
This is 1 week. It's a one week scruff, and this is you know why I don't shave. This is my intellectuality minute. Why I don't shave. Now, why is it that we shave exactly? What's the purpose of shaving? It's not like the hair is going to stop growing back. Is it not? I don't think so. It's almost as if we try to, as people, you guys can stop me at any time. It's almost as like us people, man.
Yeah, just
like, you got to run over me harder than that to stop. You can't stop a freight train with a semi. You got to hit the brakes. What's up?
You don't understand what shaving is. So
You can't stop a freight train with 3 hairs on his chin, for God's sakes.
You're right. You can't because freight trains have more momentum. Thank you, Mike, for being on my side. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to have people on my side like you, Mike, that are supportive of all of my decisions, even the bad ones, like the one I'm doing right now. But this bit's dead. It's dead. Let's talk about Hawthorne.
Thank God.
Let's talk about Hawthorne as I sit in defeat. What am I doing with my life? Why is this the life I live? Why do I do this? Guys, help me. Help me to help you. Help me to help you. Help me to help you. That's a quote from Scrubs. If anybody's ever watched Scrubs, it's a great show. Why should we talk about this Hawthorne pick 4? I need some motivation. I'm feeling like there's no point to doing anything anymore. I need some inspiration. Come on, guys, inspire
Earl
me.
Beard.
That's not inspiration.
Is I don't know. It's okay. I think you can make a little money in it. But
I'm not gonna get up for that. I'm gonna sag
You should.
deeper. I'm gonna sag deeper into my chair.
Honestly.
Rod, I can't even hear what you're saying.
Can you hear me now?
You're still rumbly grumbly like my tummy tum, Rod.
I don't know why.
Rod, I can kind of hear you now.
Let me turn that off. Now can you hear me?
Now I can hear you, Rod.
we got you back. That's better.
Please, Rod, help me get my spirits back up, cause I can't grow a beard. I can't entertain. Why I can't hit pick 4s? Why should I even try anymore? Why should I try with this Hawthorne pick 4?
Because it can actually pay something.
Like what?
I thought it looked pretty decent. There's a couple longer shots. I mean, yeah, there's a couple of chalky races, but I think there's a couple of price shots we can peg out here.
Yeah. Like what kind of prices are we talking? Are we talking like $6 prices? Or are we talking like $10 billion prices?
Neither, because neither are logical.
I'm not. Why? Well,
I think it starts with a huge favorite, and that's going to affect it.
Rod,
We'll talk about it.
I'm going too deep in the first leg.
okay.
So why don't you describe this pick 4, Ray?
You want me to describe it? I can't describe. I'm hinging all of my bets on you, Rod, to convince me that this pick 4 is worth betting. That this life.
I feel like Wani Ray is my least favorite Ray character.
That this
Like, I don't
life
know.
is worth pursuing. You gotta give me credit though. I commit. You gotta
I
understand.
mean, like, there's Australian Ray, there's Ric Flair Ray, there's I'm better than everyone Ray, and there's whiny Ray like self-loathing, and that's my least favorite of Ray's.
But Mike, you gotta relate. You gotta relate to the fact when you just keep losing, you keep getting beaten and beaten and beaten, and then there's not any more blood to pour out of your wounds.
Lose. You have to play to lose. You're not playing.
But Rod, that's not my point. You guys are taking this too literally. This is the moment in the football movie when the coach says, "Listen, you're all a bunch of twerps, and half of you are going to probably end up in prison. But this is the game that we have to win that will make us great for the rest of our lives." And then they'll go, "Wait, we're going to go to prison? That doesn't matter. We're going to be champions." And then they go out and they lose the game, but they felt good about doing it. You guys are doing an awful job of convincing me to play that losing game.
Can we get to the pick 4 Hawthorne for tomorrow night?
I'm telling you guys are having. I'm telling you, look, this is a moment in podcasting history that we're currently experiencing. This is like a perfect microcosm of handicapping, betting, and persuasion. I am, of course, playing the audience, which is hard for me because I'm just such an audience pleaser to begin with. However, we talk about pick 4s every week, and it's like, why? Why should we be going for this? I need convincing, and this is an exercise, guys. I need convincing. I feel
like I should drive 3 hours to Harrisburg to convince you personally to shut up.
Mike, now is not the time for violence or warfare or guns. Maybe guns, because guns are cool. But, Rod, you were onto something, and I was leaning towards you, because Mike thinks this starts with a favorite. I felt somewhat inspired to keep going when you said that there's a possibility here. You're too deep. How pricey do you think this race can be?
I'm too deep. Obviously, I'm going with the chalk here, the 1 Rock and Praline.
Oh.
By the way, this starts in race 7 tomorrow night. The 15,000 guaranteed pool at Hawthorne. This is the Hawthorne pick 4 for tomorrow night. The 1 Rock and Praline is obvious here. Won 2 in a row. Last start wasn't as good. Still raced well. It was a lot quicker pace throughout the race last time, so that kind of helped with the time. Did 2 move in the race and did race well. But again, this horse is really obvious. But I'm also using the 7 here, Savannah, Georgia. Came off a couple weeks, had a scratch, raced in the Open 2 starts back, and just had no chance against those. This class seems to be a little bit better. And this horse got hung past the quarter, cleared, had another one come at her, and then removed at the 5/8. I think this horse, if she puts in a similar effort, I don't know if she's going to leave in this race. I'm hoping some others leave and she ducks, and it kind of gets crazy up front. But this horse won six races out of 15 starts last year. I think this horse has a big chance. And as we all know by now, I'm a big proponent of these horses that can win at Saratoga, especially from outside posts. I think those Saratoga horses are good anywhere they go.
Going to the gate at Woodbine.
I'm feeling something brewing inside of me that could also be indigestion, but it also feels like hope. And I'm feeling like this Woodbine race could help that feeling grow. Although I'm making it sound like a tumor. 9 going postward here at Woodbine for the 9th. They're off. And trotting, Neon Lights to the inside, fires out from the outside. Eternal Quest and Power Move. Now 3 wide past the first 8th with Power Move up to challenge Neon Lights for the lead. Eternal Quest tucks into 3rd in front of Great Magic 4th. Then Ken Can Win. Back 5th into the turn, Missy's Gaga's 6th. 7th, Mighty Nikki. 8th, Presqu'île. 9th. And trailing Amityville Indy, opening quarter 27-1. Leading the way, Power Move to the backstretch. By a length and a quarter, not for long, is out of the pocket. Neon Lights circling to the front. Third, Eternal Quest down the back stretch. Fourth, Great Magic. Fifth comes Can Win. Sixth, still Missy's Gaga as Neon Lights clears to 3/8. Off the rail, Missy's Gaga jonesing for cover. Now traveling overland uncovered on his back. Mighty Nicky second over. Third over's Presqu'île. Then Amityville Lindy still trailing as the flow begins to develop off a 57 half. 29-4 that second quarter. Moving to the far turn. In front, Neon Lights leads by a length and a quarter. Outside, Missy's Gaga up to second. Boxing in, Power Move third. Shuffled back to fourth, Eternal Quest. Second over in that flows Mighty Nicky. Then dropping back to the inside, Great Magic. Outside two, Presqu'île. Then it's back to Can Win and Amityville Lindy. Past three quarters. 126-1 alone on the lead. Neon Lights off the rail. Here's Power Move. Power Move moving out of the rail to try and chase Neon Lights. Then up the inside, Eternal Quest towards the center. Missy's Gaga deeper on the track. Mighty Nicky still got to catch Neon Lights to the eighth pole. He's leg weary. Mighty Nicky to the outside. Eternal Quest at the inside. Mighty Nicky brushing down the center to the lead. And Mighty Nicky gonna take it. Missy's Gaga second. Presqu'île up for third narrowly in 156-2.
God, what an awful race.
But
They came home in 30-1.
Yeah,
but you know,
needed him to.
But you know, with the thought that I could possibly be live in this sequence after that race, you could hear I was just salivating at the potential win that I could be grasping at. And I feel confident enough that this Hawthorne, this pick four is worth talking about.
The 4 and the 9 were dead on the turn there. I mean, they just fell over in front of them.
I'm trying to be inspirational, and you're being factual, and those conflict. Hawthorne. Yeah. This first leg, I see 4 horses. Well, I mean, there's more than 4 horses because there's, like 9 horses in this field? So there's more than 4 you can see.
You're 4 deep in this race?
I'm 4 deep.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it.
Okay, so I'm recognizing the fact that, sometimes you got to take the shots where you take the shots. Rockin' Praline's an obvious one. I throw her on. But she's boring. I start then with the 5. Beautiful Brew, who's been improving in her 2 starts of the year. 2 back was third in this series. Last out was second, narrowly beat. Why am I hearing myself? Oh, the voices are back. Oh, man. They sound different and more like me. The voices I usually hear in my head are like Scottish, Russian. One of them's like this weird foreign alien dialect, like from those Star Trek movies. I'm trying to allude that I'm hearing an echo. I want it to stop. I want to stop hearing myself. Okay, fine. I'll talk while I talk at the same time. So,
The audio tonight, it's dreadful.
so Beautiful Brew is improving with every start. God, I hate that I sound like that. She could be in a good spot again this time around. And if she drew that close to winning last out, she could possibly draw even closer this time. Savannah George is an obvious one, too, to throw on, so I have her as well. And then I also include the 6, Blissful Pansy, who has been very aggressive in her last 2 starts in this series. 2 back from the 9-hole, parked the mile. Last out was towards the front and pressed a fairly fast pace. Ended up dropping back to finish 5th, but was still put in a massive first half there relative to the rest of this field. She could improve off of that if she gets a better trip. Or if she gets towards the front, maybe she could have a better outcome. But that last start, to me, shows grit. It shows form. It shows potential. And this horse is 7-1 on the morning line. Probably might not be that because of how good of a line that is. But still worth a play because the 1, Rockin' Praline, doesn't seem like as obvious of a favorite if she gets pressed. And there's a possibility that she could here. So I am 1, 5, 6, 7, especially in the $15,000 final, because it's the final of the late closer. Here's another late closer final. Race 8. The Tim Wilson Sr. Pace. Illinois conceived and foaled fillies, mares. This is a long stakes title. It's $25,000, though. And there's, 10 horses? There's 10 horses in this one. We all agree that this is a little bit of a more open race. Mike, though, you are the deepest of all of us with 5.
five deep here. I think it's a lot of different possibilities. The 2 is obvious. Second, Lasix, moving inside. Casey Leonard, likely sub-even money. The 3 Send For Me. This horse, raced in a $9 of 2. Flew late from the 9 hole. Was betting that race too. 3-1, off a break. And the line was nasty break, 2 back, and then raced well from the back, 3 back also. So I feel like this horse has woken up and really should be included on any ticket. The 5, Wimple's Dimple, second last time, lost to the 6, who also needs to be used. Those 2 were right together on the wire. Basically went 1-2 around the racetrack. And, both sharp. I think, we'll be up there early again. It's just a matter of can they hold off the closers. And then the 7, Dune on Time, who's 20-1 morning line, was impeded 2 back from the 11 and finished 3rd there against these types, and then really had way too far to come. This horse's trainer's 24%. So off that line, the trouble, definitely interested here. So 2, 3, 5, 6, 7.
Rod, you're somewhat similar, but be brief because Western Fair will be going in moments. You're 4 deep, though.
Yeah, I went 3, 5, 6, 8. The 3 came from way back last time. It was a slow last half, but draws inside, has been drawing the outside every start. I think you got to use that horse here. The 5, another one from the Woodley barn. Raced well last time, 2 moved. Definitely has a big shot. Just needs to be in the right position. I think this horse is a little bit versatile and is probably best suited off the pace. The 6, Seafar, really good, perfect setups last couple starts. No reason to think this one wouldn't be good again. And then the 8, the 8, Beamer and Bud. I'm going to throw him on just because I know this horse is quick enough. And
this field is in motion and approaching the start. Off and pacing in the 11th of Western Fair. Outside Apple Tart Hanover sweeps to the lead into the turn. In front now by 2.5 from Shadows in second to her outside DD Black third. Then comes to the backstretch Daenerys. Up on the outside, down the backstretch. First Kiss, then 5th in front of Now Who's the Queen. Then back to I Love Pink. And Winsong Natalie opening quarter bound, leading the way here. Apple Tart Hanover by 2.25. Shadows second, third, then DD Black fourth. Comes Daenerys around the turn and off the rail still. DD Black parked out. As they turn into the stretch first time, Daenerys going to track her from 4th up the inside. First Kiss outside Winsong Natalie into the stretch first time. Towards the rear, I Love Pink, along with Now Who's the Queen, as they come on past the stands to the half mile. Apple Tart Hanover pressured on by DD Black. Second over, Daenerys in 4th. Shadows locked in 3rd, circling the turn. Then at the inside to the backstretch comes Winsong Natalie outside. First Kiss, 3rd over. Then I Love Pink, second to last. Now Who's the Queen is trailing down to 3/4, 3 high. Daenerys trying to surpass a stalled DD Black, but still having to catch Apple Tart Hanover, who's been wiring the field so far, circling into the final turn. Shadows moves up the inside to take 3rd, 2 lengths off the lead. Blind switched First Kiss, nowhere to go. Still at the inside, Winsong Natalie, and then I Love Pink, the favorite, circling 4 high as they turn for home. Apple Tart Hanover loose on the lead, still the one to catch. Outside DD Black, deeper on the track, Daenerys. Shadows looking for room as they come onto the line. Apple Tart Hanover almost there. Apple Tart Hanover held off DD Black to take it with Daenerys and Shadows at the inside. That horse wired him. Wow.
How much for the best of the 2 in that race? Marked every step.
And almost
He
won.
beat the 7 for like a quarter of a mile and held on by an inch.
Yeah. Wow.
That happens.
Oh, wait, that was 7238. Whoops-a-daisy. 7238. Well, that's that. So, this is Rod. You were talking about Hawthorne. If you want to give a quick recap.
Yes. So I talked about the 3, 5, and 6. This is leg 2. The other one is the 8. I think this horse is good enough. He's got a mark of 54 at Hawthorne last year. Was racing well at Northfield and came back, had some troubled trips. I think he's coming back into form a little bit. Raced well last week and just got stuck in behind a wall of horses. If he gets drug up close enough, I think he's got a big shot as well. So 3, 5, 6, 8 for me, like 2.
As I look here at this race, I'm 3 deep. More in agreement with Mike than with you, but that's also just because I like Mike more. But don't tell Rod. Starting with the 2. November Rain, she's pretty obvious. Second time Lasix, raced well. First time Lasix. However, I don't like the fact that she's a closer and in a race that doesn't really have much pace. Nonetheless, she could end up leaving. She's going to be bet, though, so there's not really much more to talk about with her. Send For Me is the next one I use. We all use her in some way, shape, or form, which is mostly in this pick 4. She's raced really well in the claiming level. Broke then in the late closer event, or at least the prelim for this race. As long as she stays flat, she could possibly be a factor late, especially since there is not a lot of pace, and she could have the most pace at the end. And finally, the 6 Seafar, who's probably the most dangerous of them all. I'd laugh if this horse goes off 10-1 again, since she's won the last 2 preliminaries of this series. I mean, that would just be very, very funny. Especially if she were to win again at like 10-1. That would in fact be hilarious. She's also going to be up close. She's going to be in a stalking spot. Could possibly just get the jump on horses as they're sprinting down the line. And I use the term sprinting loosely because these horses can barely walk. So 2, 3, 6 in the second leg. Third leg, though, I'm feeling adventurous. I'm feeling dangerous in this third leg. I'm going out so far on a limb, the tree might topple over. Not the branch break. The tree itself will just come crashing down. But I'll hold off on that, starting with you, Rod. You'll talk about this race first. You're 3 deep, and you use the one that I single.
I'm a 3 deep here. I'm going 1, 2, and 7. The one lady's on fire. Okay, qualifier. I think it's kind of a sneaky qualifier because everything went slow that day. This horse shows a 57 mile on the off track at Hawthorne back in August. I think is good enough if ready. This is one that is kind of looks like a hit or miss type. So I'm going to use just in case because I don't trust a horse like that. The 2 Lucifer is obvious. This horse was racing the Opens and then dropped some money off his card, and now he's in non-winners of 3,000. Not much to say about that one. Second time Lasix as well. Then the 7, hard to rock this. Keith Crawford brings these horses ready. Good qualifier. I see no reason to actually beat the one in the qualifier. I see no reason not to use this horse. I know when Keith Crawford shifts his own horses down there, they're ready to win. Or at least ready to be close. This one's no exception, so I'm going to use just in case. And I do think this one is good enough. And there's probably a couple others that might have a chance, but these are the 3 that I like best. 1, 2, 7.
For those who are listening, Rod is in the second hour currently auditioning for a role on Daft Punk. We'll get the call next week to see whether or not you made the band. Mike, you're 2 deep here. Hey, you take the 2 favorites. Talk about it.
Yeah, because I really don't see anything else. The 2 is very obvious. These are the 2 that have been racing at this level and racing half decently. The 2 dropped, got Lasix, ended up in an outside post and couldn't reach. Second Lasix here should be live, likely sub even money, and then the 3 Driven. This horse has raced well since dropping out of the opens. Was second from the 8 hole at 80-1. Ended up 3-1, rushed up, and that was a little bit too much. Ended up getting a little tired, but made 47,000 last year. This horse, has a decent chance, especially up close to the pace early. They're going to have to catch. So 2 and 3 here.
All right. Boys, we all agree this race sucks. All the horses here are the most loose definition of a horse we could possibly imagine, some of which might not even be mammals. However, that's a whole different discussion we'll go into on a North American Mammal Update, which will be debuting in 2020. However, in this race, I thoroughly despise the favorites. Lucifer seems like an awful favorite. This horse is always chasing. He doesn't have much form. And I know it's hard to have form in a non-winners of 3,000. I understand that. But still, this race to me reads one horse. And it's a strange one to hedge the entire ticket on. But Rod is in somewhat agreement with me. I single Lindy's on Fire. This horse, in the past at Hawthorne, has just raced well. And if this horse can even remotely, or if this mare can remotely channel that form into this race, she wins it. Just period. She wins it. She's raced against better here. She's raced well against better here. Then she had some 6 scratches, lame scratches, tried.
Numbers of 3 here is not better than the opens here. I got news for you.
My point stands nonetheless, especially if she wins. But
she's not winning.
That's easy for you to say since you don't use her and you chalk it up. But Rod clearly
he
is
was
on my
30-1 in the late closer, then scratched lame. And it's been off for 4 months. If this horse wins, good luck to you.
Mike,
I don't.
Do you know what's in those late closers at Lexington? Horses that could walk over these any day of the week. And she was live there. She left. She showed speed. But then she broke.
3-1.
That doesn't matter. She's 33-1 off a 6. She's 33-1 off a 6 scratch, shipping in from Hawthorne against horses that are shipping in from Sire Stakes in Pennsylvania and New York.
Giant at Hawthorne, according to you.
Yes, but still, Hawthorne horses do not equal the kind of shippers that come into those late closers at Lexington. And she still raced well, even though she broke. She showed something. She showed that she was live, and that's what matters. She scratches lame in the next one, toss that, and her qualifier, it's good enough to show that she might have something. She gained ground. She came home in 30 flat in just an admittedly slow race altogether. And she's going to be flying massively under the radar because everyone's going to be clinging to these horses that have what people think are semblance of form. But Lucifer and Driven, to me, just read as poor chalks. That's it. I cannot get myself to take them. I want a price out of this race, and Lindy's on Fire to me seems like a valid long shot.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Do you think that if the horse is live, that you're going to get any sort of price?
I think that doesn't matter relative to the pick 4.
Yeah, because nobody bets those.
My point is that this horse could be like 3-1 in the win pools, but in the pick 4 could be ignored.
It's possible, but doubtful.
Doubtful? This horse is 9-1 in the morning line. No one's gonna like Rod. Back me up here.
On Wednesday, that did happen.
What do you mean? And what?
Because I was talking to guys on Twitter. The first leg of the pick 4. We were going back and forth because I said, "How do you not use Rainbow Gold in the pick 4?" And I was talking to Sugar Doyle and Lucarella and Charlie B, asking them why they didn't use
obviously.
And we got to talking about it, and Rainbow Gold went down to 3-1 and ended up being 9-1 in the pick 4 in the first leg.
Mm-hmm.
And they all got knocked out except me, and I ended up catching it.
Oh.
So booyah.
Great little subtle brag and also supporting evidence. That's the best way to brag. Just to hope they don't catch it. Still, my point stands. I don't care that Lucifer's been racing in the opens. The horse dropped in class and showed nothing. Driven the same way. I want something that is a bit of a wild card, but also has the possibility to come in. And Lindy's on Fire has a lot of variables going for her. She's more along the lines of a risky investment, but in this race that could go a million ways, I feel comfortable making that risky investment on her.
It can only go like 7 ways.
That's not my point, though. The point is it still can go 7 ways. There are races that can go 2 ways. We've seen them tonight.
Let's move on.
All right. Final leg then of this Hawthorne sequence is race number 10. This 10th race, if I reopen the PPs after being proven wrong in that last one. Ooh, I got to rebound here. Hours of 2,000 in the last 4 starts. We got 9 going posted here. 8 going posted here. Mike, you're the deepest of all of us, though, taking 4.
4 deep here. Starting with the 1. Lucy Few, 3rd time back, was 2nd last time. Came home 28-1 at a similar level, and draws the rail again. That was a decent race. I feel like that this horse is live, coming off of that, and needs to be used. The 2, Desires Lady. This horse raced in that same race, ended up 3rd, albeit with a little bit of a better trip, but was 11-1 there. So, I like the draw again. I like this field. I think it might be a little bit easier. The 4, Olivia V. This is Oosting. This horse has been struggling a little bit, but has been getting outside trips. Park no cover last time, needed race the time before. So 3rd time back, 18% trainer. I like the fact that Oosting sticks with this horse. He won 8 times last year, made 60,000. So maybe a wake up is coming. And then the 8 on the cusp. This horse won numbers of 1,000 last 4. Comment was never headed. This is a Peyton Odie horse. He's been extremely hot. Last time up in class, but still was favored from an outside post and got roughed up. Really never saw the rail. A better trip this time maybe puts right there. So 1, 2, 4, 8 to finish.
I went on a vision quest and took some Peyton Odie once. Rod, I'm going to have you hold off on your final leg as they're going to gate here for the 10th at Woodbine. Favored at 3-1, the 8 Magnificent, who just had her nose hit into the gate as it opened. Also, then at 7-2, the 3 Play with Passion, as well as the 6 Beach Goddess. Diamond Dance taking some play, currently 6-1 as the 5th choice. Fielded Motion, swinging into the stretch and approaching the start. Often pacing, Play with Passion, leaving alongside Diamonds Dance and Check Mock to the inside. Those 3 compose the top. And Magnificent's wide towards the first 8th in between horses. PL Kaleidoscope wide of 1 White Sock Woman. Then towards the back, Tabit McRae leading Beach Goddess in the back. Around the first turn of the opening quarter, in front is Henry with Play with Passion in 27-2, leading by a length and a half. Second, Diamonds Dance to the backstretch. Check Mock is 3rd. 4th, 1 White Sock Woman, leading PL Kaleidoscope in 5th. And it's a gap of 2.5 to Magnificent 6th. 7th comes Tabit McRae, and Beach Goddess towards the back, tailed off a touch 2 lengths in the rear. Heading to the past 3 8.5 mile pole, Play with Passion in front over Diamonds Dance. Still third, Check Mock off the rail. Here comes PL Kaleidoscope through a 56-4 clip, 29-2 that second quarter. Ranging up uncovered comes PL Kaleidoscope up to third, towards second, and approaching the leader, heading to three quarters. Shuffle to third, then locked in Diamonds Dance, locked in two, Check Mock fourth. Second over in that flow, Malnificence fifth, inside six, One White Sock Woman, then Tabit McRae beginning to reel up from the back with Beach Goddess to three quarters, chasing Play with Passion in 126, turns for home, outside PL Kaleidoscope, turned away, looking for room, Diamonds Dance, as she now shakes loose from McNair. Check Mock up the inside, deeper on the track, Malnificent with late rush, as well as Beach Goddess, deep stretch, Play with Passion holding the lead. Beach Goddess is sprinting down the center of the track. And here's Beach Goddess taking the lead late. Check Mock up for second with Malnificent third. Beach Goddess from last to first. Over Check Mock again. Malnificent third. One White Sock Woman might have taken fourth in 154-4. I stand corrected about Beach Goddess.
That's the real Beach Goddess right there.
That
was
was
we talked about when we talked about the race. That's her move when she wins. She's capable of that last time, and that was huge.
I was not expecting that at all.
I thought the fractions were too soft. She got home in 26-4 probably.
Nah, they went 54-4. They came home 28-4. She came home probably 27-2 maybe. 1
or 2.
Yeah.
Well, Rod, last leg of the pick four at Hawthorne. What do you have? You're 3 deep.
I am 3 deep. I'm going 1-4-5 here. The one Lucy Flew, like Mike said, that this horse is capable. First start back off the layoff, and draws a rail with Brandon Bates, who's been driving pretty well of late. The 4, Olivia V. I think it looks obvious in the program. Won't be 10-1 like the book has her. 8-time winner last year. This horse likes to get there and finish first, second, or third in over half of her starts last year. So, no reason not to think this one's not good enough. And she has been off form, but take a look at her mark last year, 51 at Northfield. So the horse is plenty fast enough. And then the 5, Scarlet V. I think I use this horse because I think she can trip out here. Should duck off the gate and follow the 4 all the way around the track. If she gets a second over trip, I think she's going to be really dangerous in a race like this, because even with the hiking class, this is a bad bunch, especially with the 7 missing over a month and a half. So this one just kind of popped out at me as getting a trip in the race and possibly upset at a pretty good price. So 1-4-5.
As I take my final breaths of this episode of North American Harness Update, because let's be honest, boys, I'm getting tired. I got one more race to talk about, which is this last leg of the Hawthorne pick 4. Somewhat in agreement with Rod. Not really much agreement with Mike. I have the 1 and the 5. They make sense. If I open up the past performances, I could tell you exactly who these horses are. Yes. Lucy Flew and Scarlet V. 2 horses that we explained fairly well. I don't have to add much more. The 1 horse then I also throw on that none of you guys did is the 6 Young American, primarily because of speed. There's not a lot of speed in this race. She showed speed last out, albeit she faltered. She dueled most of the way before she quit to finish 4th. And now 3rd start at this level, 4th start off the layoff. Seems like she's turning into a good enough form to do well here. Just the fact that she left last out after trailing in 2 starts previous is a good enough sign to show me that she's live. However, with Casey Leonard in the bike, this horse could probably be like 3-5. Nonetheless, I still throw on. So then my ticket for the Hawthorne pick 4 goes as follows. 1, 5, 6, 7 with 2, 3, 6 with the gutsy single of the 1 Lindy's on Fire with 1, 5, 6. That's $18 for 50 cents. Mike, your ticket.
1 with 2, 3, 5, 6, 7 with 2, 3 with 1, 2, 4, 8. It's $20 for 50 cents.
Your ticket.
17 width, 3, 5, 6, 8 width, 1, 2, 7 width, 1, 4, 5. It's $36 for 50 cents.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to sit down and get real didactic with you. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of...
Before you do that,
What? What? Oh.
we are live in the Pick Ford at Woodbine. The 2 horse is paying $120.36. These are all 20-cent payoffs. $120.36.
120.36.
3 is $41.34.
The 3 is
and
$41.34.
The 9 is $21.16. So we'll basically break even.
The
and
9
make
is
a couple dollars on that.
The 9 is 21.16, which would break even. Still, we had a lot of goofs, a lot of gaffes, a lot of gags, a lot of tears. Mostly from me, 'cause let's be honest, I'm kind of a wuss.
We haven't talked any about our Meadows show last week.
The show just speaks for itself, though. You can find that on the internet. It's on Periscope Archive. It's on YouTube Archive. The audio of it's going to go up with this episode just because it's been a hectic week. And there's not... like I'm speechless about that show. It was a good show that we put on out there. Had some great guests, including Donnell Mock, including Chris Gooden, including Tim Twaddle, horse trainer out there, including Mickey Burke. And I almost I feel like I should name all of them now off the top of my head, or else I'm going to be rude to someone.
Dirk
But
Simpson.
we had Dirk
Dirk
Simpson,
Jason Petrie.
A lot of great people stopped by and were very, very friendly and sociable with us, and
We had Traw. Traw came and visited us.
we appreciate
Cool dude.
it. Who?
We appreciate the over 2,000 viewers that we've had thus far on that video.
Mm-hmm. And I mean,
Hopefully it'll help us buy better audio equipment.
that's a bandwidth issue, or also just Rod wanting to make the band issue. Daft Punk, if you're listening out there, I don't think Daft Punk's. I think they're broke up. I don't know. Point being, is that that's it for this show. Next week, I'm not here, so you guys are on your own.
Oh, snap.
I'm at work. It might be a Rod type show. It could get ugly.
Next
We
week
might
is
want to think about taping that one early.
next. I won't be able to.
No, if I'm by myself, I'm going to make some phone calls and get some guests on the show. That's what I'm
There
doing.
you go.
Ne-
There you go.
Next week is
I'll be around.
next week's Rodney's potential one-man show. However, not ready for Broadway. Until then, follow us on Twitter at NA Harness Update, on Facebook, North American Harness Update. Check out our website, NahooPicks.com, for analysis every race day from tracks including Woodbine, Meadowlands, and Western Fair. Follow me on Twitter if you want. I don't care. You guys can figure it out. You're smart. I'm done. This is it. Thank you for tuning in
Goodbye.
to another edition of North American Harness Update, and we'll be back wherever the wind comes roaring through the plains.
You.